JJ Redick, epic meltdown, storms out of postgame interview after Lakers lose to Grizzlies. Hilarious chaos ensues. In a moment that can only be described as sports drama gold, former NBA star JJ Redick absolutely snaps and storms out of a postgame interview after the Lakers lost to the Memphis Grizzlies. It was as if the Lakers' loss wasn't enough. Redick was there to really let the world know how he felt, and let's just say, it was a wild ride. The situation started innocently enough with the usual questions about the Lakers' performance. But as the interviewer dug deeper, asking about the Lakers' struggles and their inability to close out the game, JJ's patience melted faster than an ice cube in July. With his signature deadpan face suddenly replaced by a mix of frustration and disbelief, Redick gave a classic "I'm done" moment and stormed off. All while shaking his head like a disappointed coach after a missed layup. It was truly the funniest sports moment of the year, and social media went absolutely wild. Fans couldn't get enough of the drama, cracking jokes about Redick going from NBA analyst to NBA diva in seconds. Memes exploded faster than a fast break dunk, with one caption reading, "When you realize you're more invested in the game than the Lakers are." And as if this wasn't entertaining enough, Redick's exit led to a comedic aftermath. Imagine the poor guy left standing behind him, trying to salvage the interview while everyone's trying not to laugh. It's like watching a referee trip over their own feet, pure comedy. This storm out is officially the most must-watch event since anything LeBron ever did on the court. So grab your popcorn, folks, because JJ Redick just made post-game interviews way more entertaining than the actual game.
JJ, starting in the first quarter when they were on the offensive glass a lot, it felt like you did clean that up some. What did you feel like was the standout issue, I guess, as the game went on, aside from just the missed shots from the perimeter?
Yeah, similar to what I said in here, like, no secret, right? They're going to push the pace. We've got to get back. We got to get matched up in transition. I believe in that first half they had 9 points after makes, where we either jogged back, we didn't get matched up, we stabbed at the ball twice. Talked a lot about they're going to crash, they're going to send multiple guys. Didn't really have good attention to detail. There were segments in the game where I thought we did. Talked about not allowing the ball to come middle. They run a wheel action. It's really good offense. Killed us on that. Got corner threes, got back cuts, allowed the ball to get middle too much. So you're going to lose.
Offensively, LeBron was terrific and efficient, and it seemed like he was also creating shots. Is that contagious, do you think, sometimes for a team when they aren't going down early or did you see something else with the shooting that just shots not going?
No, we generated good shots. There were, was almost always a couple tough, whether you want to call them ill-advised or whatever. There's always going to be a couple threes like that in the game, but we got good looks. We got good looks in the first half. It really felt like if we executed some of the game plan stuff and made a couple threes, we would probably could flip-flop that. We have a 10-ish point lead in the first half. But yeah, I think LeBron was fantastic tonight. The biggest thing that stood out, I had no idea he had 39 until I'm not looking at the box scores during the game, but he played hard. Just almost 40 years old, and played the hardest on our team. Says a lot about him.
I guess the natural follow-up to that is, what does that say about everyone else on a night like tonight when you guys were shorthanded? Were you satisfied with the effort that you got from everyone else?
None of us are.
How's Dalton? It seemed like...
Yeah, I haven't got an update on him. It seemed like he was in some pain. So I think he got hit in the face. I'm not really sure. I can't give you an answer to that.
The D'Lo only played 21 minutes tonight. What did you see there? Why did you make the decision in the second half to go away from him?
Again, just level of compete, attention to detail. Some of the things we have talked with him about for a couple of weeks, and at times he's been really good with that stuff, and other times it's just reverting back to certain habits. But it wasn't like a punishment. It just felt like for us to have a chance to win this game, that was the route we wanted to take. Gabe in the first half, especially defensively, was fantastic, and I just wanted to see what that looked like. And again, he got some good looks. Dalton had some good looks. I thought Austin had some great looks. Didn't go down, and sometimes those misses can be momentum shifting, especially when they're generating wide open corner threes.
You went to Cam again after he had an impactful shift, I guess, in Detroit. What'd you see, and how could he change the complexion of your rotation moving forward?
I thought he for what, again, it goes back to like, what are we asking you to do? What's the role that is going to help the team? I thought in both games there was a real intentionality with Cam for what we asked him to do. So yeah, I mean, I would plan on playing him on Friday.
Christian made his debut for you guys. Just what'd you make of his minutes, and just what can you expect from him going forward in terms of his minute load, considering he's been off for a while?
He's our third big, so AD was out, but I thought Christian, for getting on the plane yesterday and flying across the country, first game, he's only had 5 days, 6 days with the South Bay Lakers. He was really good.
JJ, what are your? I know it's probably not positive, but like, what are your macro takeaways from the trip, I guess? And obviously tonight, you're missing a couple starters, so maybe it's a hard game to judge, but how do you kind of look at the 5 games in totality?
It goes into choices. It goes back to choices. I think something that we've discussed as a group, and you have a choice every night for how you play, and it has nothing to do with making shots. There's got to be a group of people, 7, 8 guys, that make that choice, and we're a really good basketball team. If we have a handful, if we have 2 or 3, we're not going to be a good basketball team that night. So that's just the reality. That's my biggest takeaway, to be honest.
JJ, from a shooting standpoint, it seemed like guys were, like, and you mentioned Gabe, just looking for any sign of like a level of heat. D'Lo, a couple after misses, like hands over his head. Like, you've been in this situation before. What's it like when you just cannot catch that? Like, big part of shooting is obviously making shots, but handling misses and stuff like that too. What are you seeing with your guys right now as they're going through a little bit of a cold spell?
I can't speak to them. I can't put myself in their brains. I don't think there's ever been a basketball player that stepped on the floor and said, "Man, I really hope I miss all my shots tonight," or "I hope I struggle shooting." It's tough. It's tough to go through it. It's tough to have a bad shooting night, and then that can, when it starts compounding, that can really start to weigh on you. I had some mental things that I would try to get myself out of it, but again, just speaking to me, there's times when you're in that and it's like, man, I'm never gonna make another shot again. That those thoughts come into your brain. You have to have the sort of the mental toughness to just keep shooting and have the belief. I always, I've told a number of players that I played with when I got older, I was like, 8 for 12, it's going to regress towards the positive at some point. I'm going to have an 8 for 12 night, and generally I did.